something.
Yeah, so hello everyone, welcome to the
Oh shit!
welcome to the 197th 190.
Yeah, 197. But
Yeah,
why the
is it a
hell?
prime?
No. Something is wrong on the site.
What
It didn't get updated.
the
It
CICD?
didn't get updated.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine then. We're
The
gonna
co-
we're gonna we're gonna fix it later.
yeah.
Oh,
For now, I'm just going straight to repository. So this is 100 episode 197 of DevKami,
yeah, is it a
which
prime?
it is a prime number, believe it or not. So 197 is a prime number, and believe that if you think today's date, 2701 is might be a prime number. 1027 is also a prime number. So yeah lah. So
So
where's
many
Tristan might
primes.
be? Tristan is actually, I believe there's a young KL singer event, so he might not be here today.
Yep.
But I can't be so. Oh, that's why.
Didn't push it.
Yeah, I didn't push it.
It's your fault.
Git status.
It's
Yeah, I
all your
created it.
fault. See me?
Yeah. Oh, 1017. What the hell? That explains so much. Wrong date. I also put the wrong date.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Today is 27. Oh, okay. So
yeah. I need to revert this as well because no lah, I should be fine because the last date is 20th. Okay. So unfortunately I messed up. So let's start with event. Next week we actually have the Wui and Alexia meet up at the place known formerly as the Hall of Awesomeness. It changed to other things now, but that. So you will cover a few things. They will cover one talk is they're going to cover the Mikado approach, how to entangle the mess and move forward, and multiple intelligent approach for polyglot programming. So interesting talk. I may be there. So let's see lah. So it'll be interesting. So let's go to our event lah. So the first event is so let's news. We don't have that many things happening this week actually.
Simin, can you see me?
Yeah. No, actually you're frozen. You're
Really?
frozen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
need to refresh.
Okay.
Be right.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry that we messed up, but one step at a time. I show you it's there. It's all there in our GitHub. So the first one, DNB is unable to meet the 5G coverage. There's a term for that. It's called moving the goalpost.
How about now?
Yeah, much better. So there's a term for that. It's called moving the goalpost. So it just means that the big number of coverage that they want for 5G deployment is delayed. The reason is they did not know a reason, but MCNC did not do the check. DNB did not announce for various reasons. There's 500 sites supposedly already up, which represent 33% of Malaysia human population coverage in Malaysia. So the coverage target for 2030 is 36%, but MCMC now is 37%, but apparently it's only like 33%. So yeah, it'll be a while. It's only recently the company decided that they're okay with it.
Yeah.
So I do not know what's the deal.
Even the 4G roll-up is gonna take years to finish off.
Correct. So yeah, when the rest of the whole Asian region already deployed most of their
and especially there's an election coming, so we have
no idea what's
going on.
Yes, correct. Next one, Carousel had a data breach, so 2.6 million users, including Malaysian, have sold for $1,000. It is introduced during system migration, used by third party to gain personal access. So the information exposed are email address, mobile number, and date of birth. So yeah, just be careful with scam email and all that lah. So this one,
guys, look harmless enough. Did they Did they do the disclosure, or it was found out by somebody else?
It's so I think they do the disclosure later because they actually give us the reason just now. So let's open up slowly. I'm going to change the date. I think the reason it failed because I used the wrong date here. I don't know why. Okay, second one, Passkey.io. So this is actually an initiative. Is it a company or initiative by different
no
company?
idea.
So it's a joint initiative by Apple, Google, and Microsoft. So in a way that you can use, it will make it so that you do not need password to log in. But it also relies on device key.
Is it a new standard, or is using a web on?
It's actually using web out. It's actually web out, actually. So I believe it used web out because it had FIDO Alliance. Yep. So definitely that. So Apple have that. It have native support on the hardware. But I don't understand what does it.
Yeah.
What does it mean by security keys then? So like here's what
like your YubiKey.
YubiKey, because I thought Apple had their online passwordless thing, or it's because huh? So it means that you need this guy. Either way. So either way,
if you don't have this, you can log into my computer.
No, they actually have a fallback. Actually,
no, they actually have. There's the way I configured my computer.
Okay. So for Android, you can use Chrome, and so it's Windows. So Windows. So I don't understand how this works either, to be honest. For Android, of course, because it goes on the on-device implementation, which what I expect to have on the iOS as well. But there will be only security keys. You know what? Let's try this. I do not know whether it works.
Right about time. Die.
Correct. So with this, hopefully this is the case. And also what happened also is there is a fallback. So for things that don't work, you can fall back by using a QR code and validate it through your phone. Yep. The only catch is
it's because authentication is often in some cases is what you know.
Yeah, correct.
If you're using a password is what you know. If you're using it like a handcode, then it's actually what you have.
Yes. So yeah, you know what? Let's try this because I never had this for the first place. And so this handcode, open source application and all that. What I do not know is if you had a YubiKey on a Linux machine, then it makes sense. But I do not know how compatible with it. So I can test it out. Should I test it out? It looks scary.
Right, let's do it. It's a slow news day.
Yeah, it's slow news day. Yeah. Sign up. You log in. I'm logging, and that's it, right? What do I need to check? I'm on Firefox. How does this work? Okay, then it will check my email, which I will not show you my email because I have a ton of crap. Actually, it's mostly New York Times. It's mostly New York Times subscription.
And StreamYard is actually using this method as well. You never had password for StreamYard.
Yes.
It's always a code sent to us.
Okay, so the only problem if you use things like Ubuntu, for example, or Firefox on Ubuntu, is that this is actually on Firefox, right? This is actually Chrome. My bad. Apparently on Chrome it does not work. It only works on using email. If you're on Ubuntu, it probably works better on Windows. I will test this one day. But hopefully we have better with this. At least there's a start because Linux will always be forgotten as one of the fewer user OS. But I have Windows as a result, so you have that lah. Yeah. So next thing I hope to see in the future is integration. Integration to our application.
Less people writing the password on a sticky note and put it on the monitor. So we don't want that.
Yeah, and most importantly, I can actually don't need to pay for my LastPass subscription. I hope.
Yeah, no, it's still gonna be around. It's gonna be the
Yeah, I know. It's the
legacy
ultimate fallback.
compatible.
Yeah, it's ultimate fallback and stuff lah. So next one, this
Off topic a
interesting.
bit is that some of this technology is that
Uh-huh.
it's really good going forward, but it's really
Yeah,
bad going backwards. So let's say you
correct.
have a legacy system or you have something really old that you want to operate on, then it's actually very bad. Like I recently had to operate a really old computer, and that was really hard to make sure that it's usable compared to Linux.
Yeah,
Extreme.
correct. So the thing is, backward compatibility for our operating system is only getting worse. But on the other hand, for Linux, it's only slightly worse in a way that it's only this year that they decide to actually get rid of 486 Linux port. So the Linux kernel will not support 486 anymore, and that is almost 30-year-old technology.
Yeah, understandable.
So yes, and my Wi-Fi died again, and my Bluetooth died again. I need to find out why. Recently, my Bluetooth or my Linux keep dying for a reason I don't understand. So yeah lah. On the other hand, you're right. Also for proprietary operating system, that actually is a nightmare. But
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that we should. I'm not even saying about. Oh shit! It's a Bluetooth thing that's broken. I'm going to switch to my earphone. My speaker will be echoey. I hope
Now I can't
not.
tell you if it happened.
So,
Yeah, I can hear me.
huh?
I can hear myself.
Okay, crap. Let's. Okay, no. Let me go back again. Okay, so on open source operating system much better. So, for example, FreeBSD support very ridiculous hardware support, right? Let me get the BSD port. BSD port. Let me see architecture. No, no, I mean architecture support. The hardware get USB. So mostly that, but you got i386, and this actually support your. This actually support your 386 and all that. It's so old. Linux they also support that only this year, almost 30 years that this work. On Windows, there's no way for you to actually run things for Windows NT. Windows 11, 10, 11 won't even run on
Yeah,
486 anymore.
You can't get website to run as well.
Correct. So, correct.
But understandable is that if you cannot support like HTTPS is something that it's not meant to be backward compatible because you're gonna
Correct.
using the insecure ciphers.
Correct. Because some of the cipher actually depends on the hardware capabilities to calculate. So yeah lah. So next one, this only exists as curiosity for me. It might be useful, but it's mostly a curiosity. So this is actually a 50 line of C that you only need 50. It shows that you need 50 line of C for you to actually write Windows Manager. And actually, what they do is
provided you have X11.
Correct. So it's a bit of cheat, but it shows this is actually cool because it actually shows you the X Server API, what it can do, the events, the windowing, and all that. Yes, this technically is a Windows Manager, but X Server are the one that provide the Windows. So yeah, they are not wrong in a way. So
cool. I'm not discounting it. It's still
correct. It's not really cool. So yeah, if you're interested, it's there. I like the code. It's actually very readable, and it shows you again the capability of Unixes because the X11, while very old and supplanted by what's the newest thing again? Wayland. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's supplanted by. It's still that there's some fallback for some distro to go back to.
Correct. X11. So X11 is one of those big Unix things that you can learn from.
Small code, like project with a small code footprint because it's really good for especially people to learn how things work.
Correct.
Without layers and layers of complexity.
Correct. And X11, Windows Managers, the Linux UI is one of those beasts one of those beasts that had a lot of layers, debus, event management, all sort of stuff. This is make it simpler for you to investigate things, and that's actually very cool. So yeah, this is one. This one very interesting for other reason. This one actually shows that Linux does not do the whole secure boot thing fully. So for example, here's the thing. The init RD are unsigned. They generate locally, are not protected to secure boot. The firmware to shim and not grub are not secured. So UEFI only support protect shim but not grub. So grub is major TPR4 yada yada. So this shows that the Linux operating system do not take full support for it. It's partially understandable because a lot of these are hardware because of hardware support as well, one or another. So, but what this article shows is about what the development is needed to get Linux fully compatible, so that the operating system can take the capabilities of secure boot to make the system more secure. So, because major operating system already does that, Windows does that, Mac of course already does that. That's how they protect the computer. Linux simply don't have that because there's no hardware and it's always a third-party install on the PC thing. Which so yeah so I don't know, other than protection, I do not know what other
It also means that you're gonna support.
Yeah.
It's for about TPMS.
Correct.
I have a mixed feeling about that.
Yes. So we had two situations down here. One thing I really like about the PC world is that you can install any operating system you want. So people will say that it's not, what's the point? Well, its point is if you need to learn, it's there, and that's the point. So even if most consumers won't need it, it doesn't mean it's not useful. It just means that there's no money make for it. Don't make a lot of money for it, but it's still very useful for that, right? So, and having this means you're locking the computer down to remove experimentation, and that to me is a bit sad. Yes, it will make things more secure, but how about experimenting other way?
I would say
yeah.
I would say it's we are going back to a time where, remember, computer used to be really specialized.
Yes,
it's
correct.
Going back to specialization of hardware, because it depends on what you want to do for the hardware. And
correct.
For normal, I'm not discounting that the importance of this kind of security for home computer, but there's less vector on it.
Correct.
The only vector is that you being the user being reckless and do like not being careful, or people around them not being careful with what kind of files transfer around and devices plugging into.
Correct. So either way, this is a very good documentation on what you need and all that, and that's very cool. So I'm going to move on. There's a 0-day alert from the Singapore government alert. I do not know what that, because I don't own Apple product.
No, not even the work computer.
Huh?
Oh,
no, my Windows computer is a Windows for sake of compatibility support.
You have to use Apple because we have to do iOS.
Yeah, so I don't have to. I don't have this need. So reason. Yeah, so my laptop is a ThinkPad. So and we work on the web. Huh?
Not a fan of that these days.
Yeah, it's not that great. Also,
its form is that we get a screwed situation by all the vendors.
Yeah. So this is actually a bit this old hardware.
This is just a distraction with some of the newer computers. So older iPhone 8.
Yes, it's older devices.
The Apple release Apple fixed
it. Yeah, they are fixing it. They're fixing it. It's just that this actually tell you to update because to the latest fix and all that lah.
But this is what I really liked. It's not really trying to be fanboyish too much. Is that I have a really old iPad.
Yep.
That is no longer able to support the newer iPad OS. I think quite a few. It's like 4 years already.
Yes.
But I still receive
Yes.
security patches.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the current, so even though Microsoft as a software update is not too bad, the only issue is that different hardware maker wants different thing, and the
My
executives, huh?
my complaint is that why can't Apple do it better?
What do you mean by do it better?
Since the support, I mean, you see how short-lived Pixel devices are after
Yeah, I
only
know.
0.
So correct. So I don't know why. I suspect a lot of it is about money and the fact that uh, the PC people, the PC company are the one that willing to come out with a sub $2,000 laptop that can run as a Windows machine, right? And people actually buy that more because when I start having a laptop, that's the only thing I can afford, right? That's the only thing I can afford now at that moment. So as a result, I got a feeling that they kind of mess up another way in the way that they also want to make more money in a way that they will install your malwares and all that on your computer. Malwares like bloatware lah, on
Bloatware.
computer with
The scary
that.
part is that for their update manager, which often back then were not even on HTTPS.
Yeah, correct. So yes, Apple do things a lot thing correctly, but you are limited to what they have
No,
law. Then you just
yeah, but not trying to pick a side, like is that
yeah.
give credit to Istio.
So the and it's the same for my ThinkPad. My ThinkPad is a very capable machine. It's a Ryzen with a built-in GPU. It can do stuff, but there is some bloatware on it. It's almost a year already. I might actually it's the second year already. I might just give up and just put Ubuntu on it. I don't have any Windows specific software that I need actually, to be honest. The only thing is even Zoom can work on Linux, so there's no reason really. There's actually no strong reason for me to use
And these
Windows.
days they have there is a bit of a vendor login, as in you need Chrome, but at least Chrome runs most of the web version of those teleconference.
Yeah, but I'm doing Firefox on my PC anyway, so not so much of a problem. I know
No, I
I'm
mean
a
is that you still can make those web version run as long as you're running Chrome.
correct. So yeah lah, I do that lah. So the only reason, so at least for what it meant, PC you can still install a third-party operating system, Ubuntu or whatever that suits you, and that's why I like that. And PC, for example, recently, this PC that I'm using right now, this thing is I can run this for another few more years, because I expect to do my own support anyway, right? So it will still run, and it still won't slow down. It did not slow down. So this PC almost 3-4 years already. Your laptop will be slower by then, but this PC is a damn workhorse. In fact, the only reason why I stopped using my old PC with a 760, a GTX 760 and a AMD is simply because I need the GPU power to do deep learning at that time, more powerful deep learning locally. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, that thing works very well and it will last for a while, and Chrome will still work without slowing down. So yeah, you can't. So in a way, your PC can last very long actually, and with Linux it could last very well. The only thing is you need to know what you're doing. That's about it. So, which reminds me, I actually want to get a new GPU. More on that later. So this one is just something that Sam shared. It's a security tool to actually audit your API.
Yeah, but do they have the definitions?
No, this is a bit. I don't know. For as far as concerned, this is a bit magical because
okay, not interested.
So yeah, actually yes and no. It's interesting, but it's also it's interesting in the way that so when you so this is my personal experience
it's good to audit your policy, I would say.
Yes, but if you got engineers that willing to just deploy your serverless and each of them have their own API gateway and shit, they'll get out of hand really, really fast. Which is why there's a talk to move away from the server service oriented architecture to back to monolith, and that's fine. So once you're monolith, you don't have to deal with this shit for the first place. But if they provide more stuff like actually do security auditing and all that, then yeah lah, it helps lah, but not that as useful as most things. It's helpful, I suppose. Now to consumer news. So yeah lah, enterprise grade product, it can be useful until there's a sign of problem. There's a sign of problem, not really a solution, a worthy solution, to be honest, because cloud have their own set of issues that I don't really like to deal with. Oh, I'm going to tell you a story with this. Then with this one. Then PostgreSQL, what people love PostgreSQL. I'm so confused which is which. Okay,
So
here you are.
I saw our bad news now.
Yeah.
Steam games price increase. So
Okay. So let's start with one. Google Workspace for individual goes up from 15 gigabyte to 1 terabyte. So this is for Workspace for individual plan. I do not know. I don't think I'm on that. I don't think I'm on that.
I'm on that for the company email. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
so
because
it
we are
is more.
paying extra space anyway. Because normally the
Correct.
15 is not going to be enough.
Correct. So yeah lah, that's one news. Not much there. It's because your data file only get bigger, your media file only get bigger, and this storage is cheap for them anyway. They should just give that, to be honest. This one, Microsoft will discontinue at end of 2022. So meaning by end of 2022, you will not get new product anymore. So which makes sense in a way because the way to program a Microsoft is actually very obscure. They use a very obscure language to actually control stuff. Yes, you can run Python on it,
Yeah,
but
these days with printer and stuff, it's actually very easy to come up with things to
correct. So
automate
yes
Legos.
and no. Yes and no. Yes, you can use 3D printer to print stuff. And no, Lego. What Lego have is
No, it's not
standard.
printing Legos. It's to print these kind of things that interact with the
Correct.
Legos.
But well, what and also there is. I'm going to show you M5 stack. Okay, I'll give you an example of a product that do have. I don't remember an Arduino. Technic motor. So the control of Lego power function. So this exists, right? So I'm showing you this because somebody actually had controller for motor here. Where the hell it is? Here modules, STEM modules.
Driver.
Oh, it's under driver, yes. So yes, you can use stepper 3D printer to print stuff. You can use, but more importantly, the most important thing here is it's not there anymore. I lost it. I don't worry about that. This is more important. There's actually ways for you to actually use the Technic motor. This is called the Lego power function driver. So wire. You can find it. Somebody accept all it's type product. Okay, so you can get third party, but the short point is there is ways for you to actually interface with the Lego motor Technic motor function, and with that you effectively have a Microsoft alternative, right? Because what Lego Microsoft provide is really a computer, and the rest is actually from Technic, their Technic series. And what Lego Technic provides is actually a standardized component, a standardized gear for you to just build the component, build your machines. So you can do that actually. It's just that I do not know what the modern day do that. I saw people manage to do that before with Arduinos and all that. So Lego Technicards.
I also remember one of the
So-
issue with Mindstorm is it's bloody expensive, right?
Correct. It's 2,000. It's a 2,000.
It's almost 3,000 for the.
Yeah, it's almost 3,000 a pop. So, but the maker community can handle that. Maybe they will figure out from there lah. Even they're not going to use the power system. They call it the power system. You can use a motor to control the gear, because the gear is a standard. So you can, again, as you say, use 3D printers and all that to print the plug for you to use to the gear and for you to control stuff. So yeah, the option is there and it's not too bad. And what you get from that is a standardized, more standard and more modern development tools for you to build smart tools that, and essentially what Lego Mindstorm provide, but cheaper. In theory, a lot cheaper and more internet connected. So yeah, and this is why, yeah, in the future, let's see. Hopefully, what I hope to see is maybe somebody will have more show us how to integrate their stuff and use Lego to make interesting stuff from it. So I'm going to move on this later, because this actually I have a work story to tell. So why PostgreSQL is the most loved database?
It's consistent. The code is
Yes.
consistent. The query is consistent.
Correct.
There's a lot of, like, if you want to compare to MySQL, there's a lot of inconsistency.
Correct.
The CLI experience is really good.
Correct. So you have all these, but not really that important. Useful, but not important. Foreign data layer, yes, but not that important. Streaming, not really that important. The point of all this is that PostgreSQL is very flexible. It's consistent. It's a workhorse, but also can be very flexible. So this is just listing the things that you can do with it. I'm not convinced that all these things are important unless you need it. But if you work on data, probably you need it, but we don't need it yet. So yeah, but yeah, PostgreSQL is awesome as a work tools. But let's go to the bad news first before I talk about that story. So outside of the United States, there is actually increase of price. So for Malaysia is 40%. For Argentina is 140%. So
there's a lot for some currencies.
Correct. Some is actually a bit worse. So for the AAA games, will be a lot more expensive, because those games are in the US 200s and 300s. So
it's already back then. It was like 199 for a AAA new
correct.
That's right. These days it's 25 something to 29 something.
And 300 exists, so I expect 300 ringgit worth of AAA games in the future.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit fortunate that I don't play AAAs.
Yes, I mostly get indie-ish game. So, but Victoria is expensive. It's 150 ringgit. So
I see the price hike already. It's like normally back then it was like around 80, 90, right?
Yeah. Victoria is priced actually on the high scale actually. Choose a game.
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm going to choose Resident Evil because that's a AAA game.
No, I don't even play this.
Just take a price on the higher level.
Yeah.
So you see, it's already 120 ringgit, and this on sale. This is one of the newer one, right? But on the other hand, I mostly get this older game for 20, 40 ringgit. So let's get our favorite game, Factorial, to see how much it got. Okay, it's not too bad. It's still like 50 ringgit. It used to be 40 plus, right?
I remember it was not 50.
Yeah, it's not 50. It's a bit lower. It's actually a bit lower. So for a game, English game, it was higher, but it's by percentage, not by much.
And if you're interested with Victoria, don't be bothered with waiting for the sales. They never goes on sale.
Correct. It never goes on sale.
Yeah, the price is okay.
Yep, correct. Let's go another one. No. Zectronics game, right?
Yeah.
Electronic the puzzle pad. Okay, let's get one of these.
Just sec. Just sec. Yeah.
So yeah,
Look at the newer
it's
one like Exapunks. I think they reduced the price already because
it's
because they're old.
correct.
I don't know.
So yeah, let's get Jurassic World. Yep. Hey, the drop so fast. What the hell? What the hell? Because this is new. Why? Oh yeah, here you are.
Oh, 60.
So 160.
It's the original.
Yeah, 160, 135. It doesn't seem to apply yet, because 135 is the
No,
last
it depends on the developer actually.
Correct.
Depends on the publisher to change the new pricing.
Correct. It depends on the developer thing, lah. So sometimes they just don't bother, and that's fine. Not good for us, lah. So yes, just know that you have to work harder for your game now. I'm so sorry. So next and last one, this is a cool story that I have. It's not this story. It's not this particular story, but it goes for that. Often when you actually build your application, you usually do the naive thing. You do the naive thing, and you select a row. You select a row or more. Let's make assumption it's a row. Then you to select a row, you actually check for multiple condition. Then you decide to update. Right? It's a very naive thing to do. Most of the time it's okay until you realize that for example, each of these roles need assignment to a user. Now you actually had a condition where you have two data coming in updating the same row and causing you had a race condition now, because when request A comes in, it's updating. The problem is request B they read the data before updating, right? So they got stale data. So what happened there?
It's actually not race conditions.
Yes.
I would say it's not a race condition.
What you call that then?
It's it's race condition, but it's actually not race condition on the database.
No, it's not. It's the code is being run. Yes. So what happened then? Because the update is done and transaction B comes later, right? It will actually update it because it's a concern, because the data is old and the data updated. As a result, this raw data is already wrong. We have this problem,
and
right?
the SC doesn't protect you from that.
No, it doesn't protect you from that unless you wrap the whole thing in the transaction.
It protects itself.
Correct. So, for example, if you write a transaction, then it may say it's protect itself. Tell them that just do this. Or when you do update together, then yes, right? Then you need to set a condition.
Yeah. I think it's a lesson that had to be learned by everyone once the
correct
to scale up the database usage.
Correct. So in theory, your SQL update is atomic in a way that if you do your condition correctly, then it should be fine. It should be atomic. But sometimes, what if your condition is complex? As in, you have to select multiple rows with multiple condition before you can select a row. So the naive way would be to just select, right? The better solution is you should use select for update, so that your select will actually have the same type of behavior as update. So that when the update, they make sure that the update complete first, then they will actually read in theory. My problem is we don't even use for update. I get everybody to start for update, but there's a caveat. This article says that remind us that there is a caveat. The caveat is when you use this, it actually read from before, then the data is still wrong. When you do the update, it's still wrong. Okay. And the reason for that is the behavior is a bit it's on the back, it's at the back. Is that PostgreSQL? But no, it's well, behavior is controlled by SQL standard for the query executed by the default transaction read committed. Then everything that is committed will never see data from uncommitted transaction, only from serialization level that require that you never experience transaction anomaly. So to avoid this, you should actually use at minimum isolation. Set your isolation level. So you have to set your isolation level so that your isolation level will be compatible with update, so that you will read the data correctly. So correctly lah. So that is one of those things that people need to learn now, as more. And if you have a condition where people will select the same data and it can be written multiple times for various reasons, right, to ensure correctness. So the only thing is I do not know how will Rails do it. All right, it's easy to say that just do it in SQL and it will be awesome. But what if now we had a Rails problem? Now we had an interesting issue at hand. But that's another story altogether. So which shows only two things lah. SQL is awesome until you know what you're doing. That's one. Except now you have to learn on.
It's not just on database. Is that even if you are manipulating data within the memory?
Correct. If you manipulate data in memory, then you need to learn.
When you have a undeterministic processing time.
Yes.
Where you have 5 that finish at a different sequence and those things.
Yep, precisely. Something wrong with my teeth. So
be a dentist, please.
Yeah, I should see on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, unless it get really worse. So know your tools. The lesson here is know your tools. And ORM are not necessarily your friend. Just know how to know its layers, understand your layers. That's another thing. So yeah, don't just assume that tools will work for you. So yes. So the solution, you use this on this. Yeah. So that's a story that I have. So actually another solution for that we're thinking about is to use a queue. Because one of the theory of handling this kind of issue, right, is to simply handle one step at a time. But the only thing is you need to be careful about your query. So you need to query your condition correctly. So I give you an example. Let's say you have I don't want to talk about work data. But okay, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to talk about work data in a simulated way. So let's say you had a work assignment task for Grab. I don't work for Grab, by the way. I work for, you don't guess where I work for, but the type of work is very similar. So a user create an order to a restaurant, all right? How do you make sure that only one of the rider are assigned to this order? So one of the traditional for this kind of thing is you create a queue so that only one person comes in at a time. Then you pick it up and all that. Then you also have to set your condition, pick with the status once user change, then also change the status to pick up, so that when you do a query with update something, select something and not pick up, or for update or update something task where the fault with status. So that's one way for you to do that. You still need to do that even with queue. Otherwise, you throw a queue, you just do something like that. Be careful about your. You can use that. Then in theory, because you have a queue, it will slow down a bit. Then it will help reduce the chance for it. That's the first thing I can think of, but even there is no guarantee. There's no guarantee, to be honest. So I actually don't have a good solution. I need to give a solution for this kind of thing tomorrow. So that's my misadventure this time. So what other misadventure do you have?
No, really.
Not really. You guys sucks, man.
Bad
because that happens. Okay, so something more relaxing today. This one. Ta-da! Smiley sun. This actually from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. So NASA actually had a sun observatory, and the reason is they want to study the sun. Okay, and the reason is It's a satellite actually. So the reason why you want to study the sun is because this is called the Edmonton solar storm, solar flare. La, la, la. Okay, not this one. Solar flare, solar storm event in history. Solar flare events in history. Carrington event. It's called the Carrington event. Okay, Carrington event. So the Carrington event is the most intense geomagnetic storm in modern time now, right? So it is so bad, it's so strong that people cannot use the telegram. So the electron actually pass through the whole telegram wire and all that. So as a result, people are interested in solar storm and solar weather, because if the same thing, the Carrington event happens these days, this computer here will be fried, your phone will not work, your satellite will wreak havoc, your GPS phone will get lost, and the only thing that will keep us occupied is books. And we can't, and knowing that we're so introverted, we rely on Grab and food, those won't even work anymore, right? So Carrington event are lucky in a way that it happens in the 1859, and the only thing electrical is the only thing that is electrical is the power grid, and which is actually used by the telegraph, right? So it's not as bad as it currently now. So the good news is when that happened, you can actually see aurora all the way probably here, but this is actually so you actually seen in Hawaii, Cuba, so you probably can see it. And more importantly, the telegram doesn't work and all that. So, but there's some recent solar storm event as well. So, for example, during Vietnam War, there's this mystery of mine suddenly blow up. They have no idea why. Okay, it's a mystery. They thought there's manufacturing defect. So they thought, oh, it's yeah. Not that that's a spoiler, but yes. But the first thing people thought, because they do not know about geomagnetic storm at that time. So the Navy actually think that manufacturing effect, the Viet Cong, because this actually happens in Vietnam, okay? In Vietnam, so they thought the Viet Cong has some special weapon, or Soviet Union has special weapons. But as it turns out, one of the Navy guys realized that it correlates with solar storm. So with that, and because sea mines actually triggered by magnets, so as a result, this thing they're interested in this for that particular reason actually. Solar storm, solar flare, and sea mine. Here, solar flare detonated 4,000 sea mines during Vietnam War. So I don't think it's a paper out, but yeah, so a dozen of mine exploded, and it correlates to solar storm. So as a result, the Solar Dynamic Observatory and various sun observatory is very interested in this kind of thing, because if it can affect mines, it can affect satellites, it can affect our grab order and all that, right? So, and there's actually one that happened in the 1980s that actually fries up electronics as well, but it's not as strong as the Carrington event. So yeah, sun solar storm, those are damn interesting, right? So yeah, whoops, wrong button, say on page. So yeah, geomagnetic storm, blah, blah, blah. What's the big one? There's a few big ones. History, this of solar storm, right? Is there one on the 1800? Yeah, here you are. Geomagnetic storm in 1989 in Quebec. For some reason, it only happened in Canada. I don't understand why. It's nearer to the northern side, lah.
Because that's where the aurora came from, because it's a solar flare, right?
Correct. So Carrington event, then Quebec, then it
It's
takes
just
down a
like
few
it's just like why
satellites.
all the alien adoption were in US.
Yeah. The reason why there's so many UFO in US is because somebody testing planes there, lah, to be honest. And nobody's filed the paperwork. So, and that's about it really. Then somebody said that who testing the plane? Somebody. Who
Yeah,
knows?
nobody wants to be fined.
Yeah, and nobody is
Really.
like, yeah, it's our spy plane, sorry. Did you and somebody had to write report, and report is scary. Yeah. So yeah lah. So this is why this is awesome. And as a result, we got this cute photo of the sun that I lost. So, and that's about it really. You saw we have really nothing interesting to talk about. Steam is done, that is done, they're done. Yeah, I think that's about it lah. Let's see, we have nothing to talk. Nobody actually leave us any message anymore, which is really sad. It's really, really sad.
I think we need
Yeah,
something that I have to probably prepare something that gonna lower people to comment.
Yep. I also have this thing recently. So I have this is my next project actually. This is my next project. I'm going to test. I testing with something else, but that's not important. I don't like JavaScript, but this tool is awesome.
Thumbs up.
This is actually an image generator. My only problem now is I want to put it on my Linux server, but I had a lot of photos. So it's not feasible. It's actually not feasible to put it on the Linux server. But it's possible to put on the Linux object storage, which is not actually cheap, by the way. Object storage. So then I can have an alternative for Google Photo, for me to have public photo gallery. So it's actually compatible. So yeah, I'm looking at this to host my photo, because currently my photo is currently on Google Photo, and it's okay, but I show you all my photo is safe for work. Yeah, it's safe for work. These things are private, but this just to show you that don't make me angry. I will get stroke. Right? So this is as private as the thing on Google Photo goes lah, put it this way. So what else? Oh yeah, so the point of this is because I'm going to show you this is because I use 56 GB already, and 4 years of storage left.
You already on Google One.
Yeah. So
only 4 years of storage left.
Yes. So yeah, as a result, I'm thinking that I can put some of the photo on my personal hosting, because why not? And so the tools that I discovered is actually this one, Thumbs Up. The command is very easy to use. It's installation, blah, blah, where the hell are basic usage? Input, output, and that's about it. So let me close.
What does it mean by input and output? What does it do?
So what they do is actually, so what this does, unfortunately, is they actually read your image, they read your image directory. Then if you put your stuff as a subdirectory, right, then you can treat those image as an album lah. So in this case, what really happened is that you take an input directory, then that will generate thumbnail, and they generate a copy of the image and put it into websites. Then for website, they also in the website they already use a template of gallery to generate stuff. I lost my original project. Maybe I show it next time. So the whole idea is you get a public gallery of your photo that you can push somewhere. So for example, you can use things like Caddy to actually just simply show the website, because it's just a static website with JavaScript on it, no servers other than the one that you're hosting. And then you get a public gallery that is shareable to everyone. So which actually very nice. So let me see if I can show this. Uh, how should I show? I know how. I already okay, cool. I already had a. Let me see if I can do a quick demo. Where should I go? Slash media, slash streaming, new volume, CD photos, LS, CD 2022.
I can't see what you're doing right now.
No. I'm not going to show you what I'm doing until I'm very sure what I'm doing. Okay, this I'm very sure I'm doing. Okay, so Control Shift T. I'm going to share my whole screen now. Oh, we got 6 minutes. Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling
share.
sleepy already.
I'm so sorry. Entire screen.
No, not because of you. It's-
Okay, you see my command, huh?
yeah. Can you zoom a bit?
Yeah, ls cd When do I go to the zoo? Let me check first.
Open.
Bird park. KL Bird Park. Okay, August. Let's go to August. CD 0819. Okay, cool. So unfortunately, I have a lot of raw. That's not what I want. I care about dark table export. Okay, so I'm going to use this as an example. So thumbs up. mkdir slash, let's put it slash, assuming slash media slash new volume.
Yeah, double slash.
Okay, slash sites. Okay, gallery. Okay, gallery. So thumb up dash input dot slash to slash me then dash output. So slash media slash streaming slash new volume. I know I should use this. I don't care now. Gallery, right?
Oh, okay.
So it would generate that. Then what happened? Then you actually get
A website.
yeah, you get a server. You don't get a server by default. That's where you have to use that's where you have to use a web server for that. But yeah. So let me turn off the sharing because I have some private command that I don't want to share yet. Because it involves passwords.
Okay, you can actually share it to me. I can help you keep it safe.
Nah. Okay, control KD.
So can you show us the gallery that is generated?
Okay, I'm trying to get the control R KD. Okay, slash media slash streaming slash new volume new gallery. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to share my full screen now. Share screen. Whole screen, entire screen, along. Okay, so the actual generate thumbnail is a bit slow because this is on an external hard drive. And actually make copy, which actually a bit suck, but
No, you actually should try. You should show with a smaller directory.
Yeah, it's my bad because it will generate. So because they got.
It's gonna be finishing soon. Let's wait a bit.
Yeah, correct. Okay, we're done. That's right. So this is just so you know, this is the directory. So this is the directory I put on 2015. Oh, sorry. Download. Okay. All right. Then localhost 2015. So you get it right.
Yeah.
So this is what you share.
Then it's
So
cool.
if you have subdirectory will show up here, then you'll see the same thing. So, and the reason why I do so many work is because, that's why we have some work people. That explains so much. So yeah, you can. So my only thing is I need to share my. I need to reorganize the photo a bit. But yes, I can easily create a static website out of this. So can you thumbs up? It's actually very cool. The only thing I discovered is that I need to install these tools, or I should just use the Docker image. Oh well. But you get the idea lah. So we can do all these things lah. So yeah, that's a demo. And this is why Caddy is awesome. It's just a binary file, and I don't even install anything. I can just get things running. And yeah, something I will try later. So yes, and that's all today. I should put a thumbs up into our show notes. Oh well. So with that said, thanks for listening. Next week, Tristan will be back. And it's Halloween. I know Malaysia don't celebrate. I celebrate in the office.
Shit. Oh.
Why? You celebrate?
No, October is so fast.
Yes, October is so fast, and you have 2 more months before you have to prepare for Chinese New Year. Bad news. So yeah lah. So have fun. It'll be another 2 more months fighting. All right, I'm off. Goodbye and see you all. Yes.
Let me end it.